koutou katoa. My name is Tara. I am a system and service designer at Tāmaki Regeneration Company. I didn't start out there. I started out in the community, and I'll share a little bit around that as I go in my talk. So I'm talking today about repurposing Tamaki houses and how we got into it, why we got into it, and what opportunities there are, and just a little bit of challenges and opportunities that we've learned along the way. So Tamaki is based in the Glen Innes, Point England and Panmure community in East Auckland. Tāmaki Regeneration Company is a company that's been working alongside the community to help build it up and regenerate the community. Just acknowledgement here just around the journey that TRC has had up to date, and how there has been different parts of TRC that have been a part of our community, and where there has been a massive learning journey along the way. So acknowledging all of the people that live in this community and call Tamaki their home, and that includes myself as well. And so there has been a long journey in figuring out how Tamaki works alongside TRC and how we can work better together in the future. So just acknowledging that journey and how we are progressing and processing what's happening in our community. The reason why I mention that is because TRC is taking 2,500 of the homes from our community. That's around about half of what it is currently, and they're going to be replacing it with 10,500 homes. So you can imagine the impact that that could have. And so, but there are also opportunities with that. And those opportunities are what the reason why I joined TRC. So we wanted to make sure that we could unpack and unlock those opportunities in a way that moves away from demolition and steps into repurposing. The original program was to demolish the houses until about 18 months ago, when we first started to look into other opportunities. Hats off to Kainga Ora and Piritahi that have been walking alongside TRC as well in that, and also to the leadership. And that is probably the key thing within anything that has to happen and change within large entities. The leadership within those companies are the key drivers to be able to see those change happen. So our aspiration is for as many of our old housing stock, which is that 2,500 houses, to be repurposed as possible. We cannot say all, because some of them are just not viable to be repurposed, but we are hoping and aiming for those 2,500 homes, or as many of them as possible, to be repurposed. And through the time that we're doing that, we're wanting to see social, environmental and community outcomes at the forefront of the construction and demolition industry. That changes things significantly. It's not about business anymore. It's about how we can get our community on board at the same time. I started off outside of TRC. So I started off creating business cases and opportunities and hopeful for change in the construction and demolition industry to try and change some of the waste that they were doing outside. I was working with Envision and under my own social enterprise, which is Rako Tautoko. Wasn't getting anywhere. We could not actually crack it. It was really, really difficult to be able to get anybody to really commit to a large scale opportunity. We could do maybe possibly one or two, but it wasn't enough. And so what we were wanting to do is try and figure out how we can do all of the different ones that were, all of your houses we want. And so when an opportunity came to actually join TRC internally, that's when I jumped at it. And one of the projects that I was able to secure about 6 months after I joined was repurposing the houses. Started off with a very small amount of houses, and it has grown since then. The key driver that I have is that I want to be able to create opportunities for people internally so that people externally can get those opportunities to grow opportunities. So the key driver that has managed to make that happen is a united goal. So we've created a united goal that not only the community and the waste sector are interested in, but also Tamaki and TRC are interested in as well. So we need those leaders to be wanting that as well. So just a hat tip to that. This here on the right hand side are the TRC social outcomes that they're wanting to see achieved, and the ones that are bold are the ones that we focused on. So as soon as we could identify and allocate what internally TRC needed to see change, then we could start making those opportunities for our people externally. So the journey started with working alongside iConstruct, and we only had 4 houses to repurpose. It continued on with then 15 houses and then moved into 25 houses. So every single time we could prove that it was a viable opportunity, we expanded and expanded and expanded. Our ultimate goal is so that we can get people outside of TRC to be leading all of this work, and then hopefully getting all of the benefits out of this work as well. At different times, we've led it in different stages of the phases, primarily for speed. We needed to be able to work within the kāinga order system that was in place. We couldn't just say, oh, just hold on, we just need another 6 months to be able to get rid of these houses. It just doesn't work in the system where they're trying to develop and build a whole lot of houses. And so we needed to be able to sit within that system. So over that time, we have managed to bring 37 houses in total to the Repurposing Houses project. 24 of them have been relocated to be refurbished and reused as is. That means no waste, absolutely no waste from those ones. 7 deconstructed, a little bit of waste in those ones, and 6 demolished. Now that's a downcycling system, and so we do actually do a little bit of green guerrilla work where we try to get a little bit through the green guerrilla system. And then the rest is going to landfill. So if you consider about the opportunities that we have, we know that Auckland has got 50% of it is construction waste and 50% of it is other waste. All of that 50% I see as a complete opportunity for growth in business development and social enterprise growth. There's so many opportunities to develop within the construction waste. Half of it, like half of our waste is sitting right next door. Almost every single one of our suburbs, our communities that we are living in have construction next door. And so if we could be working and unlocking all of the waste that is coming out of those, then there's so many opportunities for development in that space. If we look a little bit deeper into that 50%, 70% of it is construction, and 30% of it is demolition. Now, we've only taken one tiny snippet of that demolition. So that's really interesting to be aware of as well, because again, so much opportunity in the construction side of things as well as the demolition side. And then if we look a little bit deeper, then again, we're looking at different types of things that are in there. And this is why this is really exciting, right? So timber is amazing. It's huge. It's got a large section of what is wasted within the space of the deconstruction or demolition. At the moment, a lot of it is demolition. And then that can be 100% upcycled immediately. So much of it can just be reused straight away without any altering of it at all. Sometimes we might need to replant it in some way, but most of it actually can be used as is. The other part that needs to be looked at is the rubble and concrete. Now that could be used in clean fill straight away. We shouldn't be using brand new clean fill ever in our builds. In our new builds, all of our new builds should be coming from upcycled. So for our project, 64% of it was relocated, 19% deconstructed, and 17% demolished. So just acknowledging that we were able to save approximately 775 tonnes of waste over the last, that was actually not even 12 months, it's been about 9 months of us doing this work. And now we've got an approval to continue on and grow for the remaining 2,500 homes. And so every single one of those homes is approximately 25 tonnes of waste. And so that's amazing to be able to shift that into repurposing and opportunities. If we consider the different the different steps of this, and this is where we get into the financial viability of this whole project, we have gotten a budget of about 25k for each house. Whenever we are going to take a house away, we look at the how can we do that, and we would have put allocated a budget of 25K to demolish that house. Now what we're doing is we're using that money for assessment, so we can assess it properly and make sure that we can figure out how to repurpose that. We then relocate that house coming down along that cycle. That gives us funding to budget that we can then give it to a relocator. We have site clearance, and so all of that, we're all funding for all of that. So that's money that we're pivoting away from our process of waste and into upcycling and creating micro enterprises in that space. Then on the left-hand side of that circle, these are social enterprise opportunities that we're looking for. We need them. We need help in that space. And so we have vegetation that we would love to be able to see saved from all of our sites. We could see just a lovely little social enterprise of people grabbing these plants completely for free. The downcycling, so anything that couldn't be used as it is, that needs to be created into something else, could be, for example, splinter wood. So wood that we can't build things out of. It could become firewood, or it could become mulch. Those different examples. Upcycling different items that come out. Brick is an amazing one that we can reuse straight away as is, and timber again, glass windows, all of those things could be upcycled into different products. Refurbishment of the houses that we relocate, that's obviously one of our larger opportunities that we have. And then, of course, sale of all of those different things. So there's so much different opportunities for enterprise development in this space, and that's what we're wanting to see grow. We're very excited about that, and we want to be able to support that growth in any way possible, and we want to also encourage people like Kaingoora to be able to do that as well. I see this more as a spiral up as opposed to a circular economy. We'd love to keep spiraling up over and over and over again. Just a little bit of acknowledgement that sometimes things don't work out. And so many times things didn't work out, and we had to pivot and grow and change as we went. And so complex systems require smaller innovations to test and trial things out. After setting up 3 different businesses, I don't recommend their business cases at all now. They take way too long to create. I love social link canvases, and I love writing them with pencil. Because then you can rub them out and create a new system and create a new way of doing something. And that's what you need in this space. We need people to be able to trial and test. We have an amazing product of timber. What can we do with it straight away? Oh, they didn't sell it all. Okay, what else can we do with it? Because being able to grow those different opportunities and learning as you go and pivoting is actually vital in the success of any development for anything that can happen from here. So the next steps for us will be that we're wanting to create new local enterprises in our community. We're unashamedly focusing on Tamaki, the community of Glenina's Point and Limpamua. We'd love to see more and more little micro enterprises that are popping up. One of those we want to create is a salvage yard so that people can come grab all of the different items at great prices that are much cheaper than anything else that anyone else has got, hopefully. That's my dream. And then to do that, we need to be able to have someone that's building capability within our community to do that. So we're hoping to secure a role that somebody can walk alongside, have the expertise of how to upcycle items, but also all of the expertise of repurposing houses as well. So we're looking at securing that funding as well.